Welcome to Beyond the Quantum Biopharma Lawsuit, an exclusive video series production of AGORACOM in which we speak to multiple investors who have unfortunately suffered financial and even emotional losses stemming from a $700 million lawsuit filed by Quantum Biopharma alleging, very important that we stress that, alleging that CIBC World Markets, RBC Dominion Securities, and others engaged in market manipulation in the share price of the company that was once valued at nearly $1 billion. In this exclusive series, Quantum Biopharma, which by the way was previously known as FSD Pharma and traded under the symbol HUGE, HUGE, has invited some of the shareholders to come forward to share their personal stories with their fellow investors in order to help to build an even stronger case, as well as encourage other investors to step forward. So if you're watching this and you want to tell your story, contact the company and we'll have you on no time. Today, we're happy to welcome Dawna to the show. Thanks for being here, Dawna.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, because at the end of the day, we know this has been a difficult deal for you, for your fellow shareholders, for the company. And it's not an easy thing. So I want to say I thank you and I applaud you for your courage to actually share your story. Let's start off way back when you first began your relationship. And you were an investor in HUGE back then, when it was huge. Talk to me about why you made that investment, and I'm not talking about just the feeling you had, why you liked it, and kind of like the optimism you had going forward.
I had been successful investing in the what was at the time quite a big canopy growing companies that were starting up, and this is 2018. Right. So I had been successful with that, and so when I saw that the company FSD had purchased the Kraft plant down south of here, I was optimistic. They seemed to have a good team together. They had a vision. They had gotten a good sized piece of property. They were close to Toronto, all of the things that I'd heard about it. And I thought, here's an opportunity to, again, get invested in the cannabis industry. And so I invested $500,000 into it. And at that time, wow. Yes, that was, I felt very confident that they were moving forward like other growers had done. And that was my son as well invested. Both my sons invested at that time, and one was probably about 25,000, the other was 100,000. So we as a family thought this is going to go well, and they were meeting at the time they were sort of meeting the deadlines. They were applying for their licenses, which they had gotten, and they had gotten onto the NASDAQ, which was another step that we were all looking forward to.
And I guess you were feeling optimistic. Were you feeling, because there was a time there when the stock was doing really well. I remember, because a lot of my friends were and are investors. So you're feeling good that the company's moving in the right direction. You had a reason to feel optimistic about it all.
Absolutely. And even when they pivoted and went to research and development into a pharma company, typically I would not invest in research and development, because I certainly understand it takes a long time to get through the trials, etc. But I was in the process of retiring at that point, and I thought, I have some time here. I mean, I was leaving the country, and I felt, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, this will be okay. Somewhere down the road, they're going to walk through all these trials. And what really encouraged me was that it was for MS. The drug was something that they felt strongly about, and it was different than any other drugs that were currently available. So I was prepared to invest in that company and ride it out.
And at some point, did you start hitting that point where you were getting a little bit maybe perplexed, not understanding why they were doing the right things and moving forward, but the stock price was acting like the complete opposite was happening. So was there a period of time there where you were, kind of confused, perplexed about it, not feeling good about it, and wondering what was going on?
Oh, absolutely. It shouldn't have turned around like that so badly and fallen like that. It had all of the makings of a good company. We hung on to our stocks, all my family, and myself personally, because I had left the country and I had thought they were just going to percolate along. I wasn't paying very close attention. The pandemic, of course, brought me back home, and those year and a half that I was here, again, you're just sort of caught up in the moment of what's going on in the world. So wasn't paying that much attention until I pulled my head or surfaced and went, oh, what is going on with this stock? Like, what's happened to everything, all the future of this company?
What was your reaction? Because I'm sure, like most investors, you're disappointed in the company, disappointed in management, all the typical emotion you would expect. What was your reaction, Dawna, when the lawsuit was filed and announced and you saw the allegations being made at that point? Did a light bulb kind of go off? And what were your thoughts at that point? How did you feel when you saw that extensive lawsuit filed?
Well, that's the reason why I'm here today. I really felt, first of all, disappointed in the banking, the trading system. I've been a retail investor for years, and the manipulation of the stock market is always been something you hear about but when it affects you, it is a real kicker, and it's discouraging. The lawsuit, I thought, was amazing, that they have taken it, that they feel strong enough for their shareholders to have engaged in this lawsuit, and that the idea of having it filed in New York, I think, is perfect. As I've read, the New York system is
Yeah, the Southern District of New York. The Southern District of New York is
yeah,
where a
they're
lot of the major financial litigation takes place.
right.
That seems to be the place.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent idea. Of course, with the lawyers, obviously must consider this a doable case, because they've certainly put their firm on the line as well. So
How was how does it impact you? How has this impacted you? Financially, it's probably pretty obvious. You talked about $500,000 invested by you, $100,000 by one of your sons, another
yeah,
25,000. So quick math, $625,000, and
yes,
obviously that's down significantly. So that's a major, for now. Hopefully, that's a major loss, that you're unrealized loss.
it has
But
blown up my,
what were the loss? What were the personal, if you don't mind sharing?
no,
What are the did this take a personal toll on you and or your family?
absolutely it did. It blew up my retirement. I was living out of the country. I was
Oh,
working, my retirement, and what I had geared for and my goal was to give back. And I was teaching sewing to women on a small island. And it forced me, because then I didn't have these finances in my retirement savings to maintain my living there on my own. And so about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I have returned to Canada. And with this kind of a loss in my portfolio, I now live with my son and his family. So it's not only affected me in that I'm not living independently any longer, it affects my son and his family, because they have me living with them. And this is what it's going to be.
and it's even impacted the women that you were hoping that you had been helping
Oh,
all
yeah.
this time.
Yes, that was a a wonderful experience for me. And unfortunately, all of that program shut down with us leaving, or me leaving. My sewing partner, who was an American, went back to the States after the pandemic as well. So,
Don, every story that we hear is more heartbreaking than the one before, you know, and
Mhm.
to hear the financial toll and the personal toll, and even the, you know, reaching around the world in this case, where, you know, you couldn't help the people you want to help is heartbreaking. And like I say at the end of all these interviews with everybody, is I'm very hopeful, really hoping that the next time we see each other, at least in this format, it'll be you and or the other shareholders, and hopefully celebrating a victory by the company, and have you back on to discuss what everyone is hoping will be a successful outcome of the lawsuit, and then letting the company get back to what it's supposed to do, and
right,
everybody participating in that. And then at that point, it sinks or swims based on merit, not on any other actions. And again, we have to say they are allegations. We have to say that Quantum Biopharma is alleged, and this will be adjudicated in court. But Dawna, thanks so much, because we could talk, like I said to all the guests, we could
Mhm.
talk for an hour about this.
Right,
Your story is much bigger than the time we've allotted, but let's hope that, you know, it ends off with a nice happy ending at the end.
right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dawna, and say hello to your family for us, and to everybody at home. Thanks for joining us. Please share this with all your fellow investors in the company and your fellow networks. And if you feel inspired that you want to come on and share your story, just like Dawna did, please contact the company and we'll have you on soon enough. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.
The information discussed in this interview pertains to allegations that have been made in a legal filing. These allegations have not been proven in court, and all parties are presumed innocent until proven otherwise. This content is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal or investment advice.
Smash that like button, drop us a comment, and share it to fire up that engagement algo so other investors can discover this company.